Good evening, everyone. This is Maurice from the Triple M Model Railroad. As you can see in front of you, I actually have an Intermountain GEVO, um, Tier 4 GEVO, matter of fact, by Intermountain, CSX scheme. And this is the first time I actually have one in my possession. And this engine actually comes from, if I'm not mistaken, Massachusetts. A gentleman there by the name of George actually asked me to do some work on his engines to modify the sound and the lights for both of his engines. Now, this one is actually for sound and the lights. This SD70ACe, also CSX scheme, and he would like to have the Monster Railroad lights installed and the scale sound system, speaker system, or speakers more or less, installed as well. Decoder installation, I can't forget that. He wants the decoder installation for this. And, I'm looking forward to actually getting this started. And the Intermountain is only a speaker installation, a speaker modification. That also going to get scale sound system speaker installed. Finally, JT from Scale Sound Systems opened up his site. He just got married, and he was saying a lot of things were going on. So I mean, I understand that. Things do happen, and considering what's going on now around the world with this whole pandemic, things are a bit crazy, I have to admit. There's been some events that surround me that's, affecting, affecting people around me more or less, in a negative way. I don't want to go too much into detail, but it is what it is right now. So saying that, I digress. So, I've already ordered the speakers. Actually, I have the decoder and the lights. Oh, and actually, I'm not showing you the lights. Actually, this is the motherboard for the decoder. Lock sound. He requested lock sound installation, so that's what he got. And this is the first time working with TCS with their motherboards, so this is going to be pretty interesting. I could have easily got the Athearn ones, but I said, let me just try these out. Because I noticed that JT from Scale Sound Systems, he actually used these motherboards instead of the Athearn boards. I don't know why, but maybe it's something beneficial with them. So we'll see. I'll try it out, and if it works well, then I'm going to use it with the rest of my rolling stock, my Athearn stuff. So the speaker. I listened to the sounds of the JT's speakers on both of these engines, and they do sound actually absolutely amazing. I can't wait to hook them up. The lights is going to be a chore on this one because of the ditch lights. Ditch lights is the hardest to do. Ripping the old lights out, and these are, if I'm not mistaken, these are the bulbs. If I can zoom in, if you can see, these are the bulbs. The old cathode bulb lights. So that has to come out. And just a side note, I'm actually filming this segment with my new camera phone, and I got the cream of the crop. I wasn't playing games this time. I actually got the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. This is like the best of the best. And I'm paying a pretty damn penny for it too. But I really wanted the storage. That's what won me over with the phone. It actually is a have 512 gigabytes of storage standard. The camera system that's on this thing is just very impressive. And this is filming at 4K at 60 frames a second, whereas my old camera could only do 4K at 30 frames a second. So it may look a little weird. Um, it has very good uh, what would they call it, like stabilization, so it doesn't, even though my hands may be shaking a lot because I'm getting older, so my hands are getting a little bit more shaky. Yeah, that's what mortality does, unfortunately. But yeah, so hopefully this actually, it actually stabilizes pretty well. So I like it. I mean, the camera. I mean, this phone. I really like the phone a lot. I'll try to pay this thing off before it's due. So. And for me personally, I haven't gotten anything recently. Well, fairly recently, that is. The last engines I have bought was what were some Jeep 40s, and they're from UP, the G40X, if I'm not mistaken. And no, GP, sorry, the GP40P. That's what I got. And I was gonna film that, but I ran into some issues with. I wasn't satisfied with the sound because I only you only can fit very small speakers, but I just recently ordered with George's order speakers for the Jeep 40 from Scale Sound Systems. So yeah, I can't wait for that. That's what I'm going to do with those, so I can get the sound. The only problem that I don't like is twofold. With that project is that one, I got to redo one of the ditch lights because for some dumb reason when I put the last shell on the chassis, because I have two of them, I put on the last one, I think I busted one of the ditch lights, or the circuits on the ditch lights. I think it's maybe the wires maybe broke inadvertently. I don't know. It doesn't look like it did, but one of the lights don't work anymore. So I was very upset with that. So that means I got to do the tedious task of finding which wires for which ditch and where it's connected and disconnected, and try to carefully. I had to move the whole ditch housing, so that's gonna suck. I mean, with this engine, I got to remove the ditch housings to actually get the lights out. That's gonna be fun. I did it before. I had like four of these engines. Um, I have four of these in BSNF scheme. Actually, I really have 8 of these engines. The other 4 I never worked on. I never got to actually completing those. I got so much stuff I haven't completed. It's ridiculous. Uh, will I ever complete it? I have no idea. I'm gonna be really frank with you. The way things are now, everything is questionable right now. So hopefully I will get to it someday, and then I may show it. I may do a video on that. I did pull out the again the turbine, so I'm going to start that project. I just got to get the decoders for it. I mean, I bought the decoders, but I got the wrong ones. Like a dope. I didn't get the 21 pin. I accidentally, hastily bought the 2 8-pin of the version 5s. Now I could use the motherboards of the ready to runs, but I'm not going to do that. I said I'm actually going to use. I may use them for something else. Those decoders. Either I got 2 MTH BSNF tier threes or tier threes that I have not put decoders in, but I'm not too sure if I want to. I may want to sell those, but they don't really look all that scale, especially in the trucks compared to scale trains and Athearns. It really doesn't look quite right. And even Intermountain is scaled very well. So I may sell those, but I was thinking I may put it in the U50 that I have. That's just one engine. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the other one. I'm not 100% sure. I really don't want to put in a ready to run. That might be I don't know. I still gotta think about it and see what I want to do with it. And I'm gonna do a video on my Intermountains, the tier 3 GEVOs that I have, the UP, with the 5,000th, I think it's 5,000th anniversary UP, if I remember it correctly. I could be wrong, but I actually pull those out because I want to arrange the speaker wires a different way than I had before to get better sound. I think I arranged it the wrong way from what I was looking at before, doing a little research on that. So I pulled those out of storage. So I'm going to do that. I mean, the speakers in there were actually Zemos speakers, and they sound just as good as the scale sound system speakers, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna rewire those. So I just put, and also I took out the scale trains GEVO, which was giving me a lot of problems with the speed and all this kind of stuff, and the rear light. I actually managed to find the light for it, so I have to, I'm gonna try to fix that. And the only reason why I didn't fix it before because I didn't have the proper soldering equipment. Now that I do, now I can actually work on it. So I brought that out too. So I have to admit, the Intermountain Tier 4 GEVO, the ET44, is actually a very nice model. I mean, it's very crisp. The detail is very crisp. It's very clean looking, but it's very well done. It's not as detailed as the scale trains, and what I mean by that is that if you look at the rear radiator section, I mean, they cleverly made it look like you can like it has 3 dimensions to it. I mean, with these new type of molding processes that they do now, it's quite amazing what they can do. And this is fine. I mean, in darker schemes, this is actually very good. Lighter schemes, you will have to touch it up a little bit with some weathering or something like that to really make it pop. But this is good. This is very, very good. It's very well detailed, and it does run pretty nice. It sounds okay. It doesn't have great sound. That's why George wants this to be changed. He wants the speakers to be changed. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to probably take about a week before those speakers come. And in the meantime, I'm going to be actually working on this bad boy. Now I got to chip away at it little by little. I mean, time is very condensed. I mean, at my job, I got this new EMR, medical record system that's being integrated into the hospital, and it's taking up a lot of my time. By the time I get home, I'm tired. So I really got to chip at this little by little. The lights are actually the most difficult part of this project. getting the lights to fit and make sure they work correctly. And plus I got to learn, which is not too hard to learn, how to wire this um, TCS motherboard, which is actually, to be more exact, it's called the Gen MB1 1616. So, I mean, it looks pretty easy. It doesn't look terribly hard, so, and from what it looks from Scale Sound Systems, I mean, it looks like it's a pretty clean install. But it's just the lights is just it's gonna be a little work. But and I actually have, instead of using Monster lights, I do have the Athearn lights, but that's actually for my own project. And originally, the Monster Rero lights, LEDs, they were for original project, but then I changed my mind since Athearn actually came out with LEDs. So that's just very convenient. But I have worked with Monster lights before. I actually have it on another engine that's in storage. I should pull it out and try to finish it. I just haven't finished it. It's actually a SD70 Mac. And no, SD70M, sorry, not a Mac, but it's SD70M. It's a really nice, it's the flared radiator version of the SD70. So that's a nice model. But I took it all apart and I just never put it back together. It just, I don't know, because I think what I did was I didn't install the lights the way I wanted to, especially the front top lights. So I wasn't too happy about that. But I mean, I have to just get it and work with it and try to fix the error, or But I don't know. Someday I'll just work on it. Maybe after I finish with these and the turbine and my Scale Trains GEVO, and then I'll probably take a gander at it and work at it and get that one up and running. Actually, I may have to change the decoder too, because it's a version 4 Select Direct. When it changes to the version 5s, to just put it up to date. Also, I'm thinking about, with all my other GEVOs that I have in my possession, the ones that were version 4s, I'm gonna convert those into version 5s. I think I'm just gonna do it. I just do it one by one, so it doesn't feel like I'm getting hit in the head. Because this hobby can get very expensive very fast if you start ordering a whole bunch of things. So, okay, well, enough of my rambling. I'm not going to run this right now. I'm going to do another video on that when the speakers come in, so I can do a comparison. I have this running with the regular speakers that I have installed already, and then I'm going to have it run with the new speakers. And this installation should be pretty straightforward. It should be fairly easy to do. And that's about it. I mean, I didn't expect this to be a 20-minute video, but I just have a lot to say. I don't often come out with videos the way I should to really boost this channel up. I really prefer to actually do the layout, but we just have not had the time to really, work on this layout the way that we would like to do. But I have to really discuss that with my uncle and try to get this thing going again, and make some real progress in it. I mean, I know so many people are looking, oh, where's the layout? Where's the layout? Where's the layout? I know. I know. We just don't have the time. Is time and money. Money is a little tight right now. My budget has changed because I recently got a car, so I gotta put money into that. That's a big expense. So So I didn't even get the scale trains that I wanted to get. I mean, scale trains that came out with some new engines, some new tier 4s. I missed out on the BSNF, pretty much. So this is like the 4th gen one. I just totally missed out on that. And I was going to get the auto rack cars, and I totally missed out on that. Just didn't have the money to get it, because of due to, budget change. Um, but I'm also saving up for the big boy that's coming up after this. It should be coming up in the next month, if I'm not mistaken. I already have mine on order. So when the time comes, excuse me, I just, I'll purchase it. And I'm actually definitely going to do a review with that. That's going to be very interesting to see. I'll have my 3rd big boy. And it's the commemorative, excuse me, tongue twister, edition of the model. So this is going to have all the bells and whistles, supposedly. So I'll have a thorough review on that. Is there anything else? Oh, one more thing with scale trains. Actually, this is pertaining to CSX. They have 3 heritage schemes that scale trains are coming out with. One is the police, one is the I think the firemen, and the other one is the military. And I'm definitely getting those, so I'm going to have a review on that too, when those are released. So, and that should be released also, I think. Oh, I forgot when it's supposed to be. Shoot. All right. Well, it will be soon. I just don't know when soon, but it will be soon. I can't really look. Those schemes look awesome. All right. So that's about it. That's all I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not much. Well, I talked a lot, but I mean, I hope the information was somewhat helpful. And hopefully we'll do another video on the layout soon. I look forward to that. All right, people. Everybody, have a good evening. I'll try to come out with a video as soon as I can. When this project starts, I'm going to have videos on that. A little step-by-step process on the progress of this build, of this modifications. It's gonna be nice. I like these models. I'm not a CSX fan, but I mean these models are nice. I have to admit, makes me want to get CSX just to get it. Well, I'm actually going to get CSX. I'm going to have the Heritage CSX. So ha ha ha. All right, everybody. Everybody have a good evening and stay safe out there. God's grace and speed.